Okay, so I have a student here who's going to help me with some questions, and I'm going to answer from my personal experience, my opinion, and my solutions. Okay, so you can take it away.
So yeah, I went to ChatGPT and I looked up asked it, what are the top reasons why people quit in jiu-jitsu? And maybe we can go through some of those, what it came up with. The first one it came up with was slow progress and frustration. What's your take on that?
I feel like with my experience teaching, frustration, people quitting, that's true. People get frustrated because they're not making enough progress, but their expectations are a little bit off, I believe, because if you don't have any grappling background, you're not a wrestler, and you're not a gymnast, moving in jiu-jitsu is very difficult, especially if you never have that background. Doing a forward roll, doing a back roll, or doing a break fall. You need to learn that with the warm-ups. So I always tell them, take it slowly, start with the warm-ups, and you'll get better. Expectations, give it at least 3 months, and then you're gonna see some type of improvement, but nothing's gonna happen in a month or 2 weeks. That's the thing with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You have to be patient and lower your expectations. That's why I want people to stick around longer than 1 month.
And number two came up with ego and psychological pressure. How would you define those?
Okay, the psychological and the ego, I think, is one of the top reasons why people quit. Because people think they're watching the videos, they're watching YouTube, that they can actually fight when they never did fight. Especially people that never been in a fight, never did wrestle. In their brain, because they studied videos or the theory on fighting, they think they can fight. So a lot of people, the first time they roll with submissions, they get blindsided and they get hit with reality that they really can't fight. So two things happen when that reality sets in that they can't fight because they keep getting submitted. Is one, they want to learn, so they're eager to come back to learn, or two, they quit because their ego cannot take the embarrassment of getting submitted by somebody smaller, and they can't stop the person. That's another thing. That jiu-jitsu is kind of like a superpower, that if you have techniques, you can get around stronger people and apply submissions even when they're trying to stop you. That's the thing with jiu-jitsu. It's hard to understand what is being done to you. So the ego can't handle it. That's one of the top reasons why people quit. But in my opinion, you just gotta humble yourself and try again. And listen and learn and try the techniques. And humble yourself and come again. I got humbled when I started. My ego got crushed, but with persistence, I kept training and training and training. I eventually got better, but it didn't happen overnight.
The third one that came up was time and lifestyle conflicts.
Okay, with the time and lifestyle conflict, I think a lot of people that I've seen run into this problem would be like college students or people with a lot of hobbies or friends. Like, they're gonna go surfing or they're gonna go paddleboarding, drinking with their friends. You have to commit and sacrifice those things, put it on the side to do 2 to 3 days of training jiu-jitsu. You have to sacrifice some hobbies or some going out drinking to commit every week, because you have to stay consistent. That's the most important part about jiu-jitsu. You have to stay consistent, and if you don't sacrifice something to replace your training, you'll never get good. Because I've seen people lose interest, eventually quit because of surfing in Hawaii. There's good waves, they don't come to class, or they find a new boyfriend or girlfriend and then they never come back because you know how it is in a relationship, fall in love and they get overwhelmed and they're with that significant other every day and they never come back. So you need to make time for yourself. You need to make time for jiu-jitsu.
Number 4 was bad gym culture or poor instruction.
Well, back when I started, the norm in the culture was kill or be killed. Okay, anybody new came in, your first class, you would get submitted, you would roll, and you would get hammered, you would get smashed, just demolished. That's the norm back when I started. And you either accept it or you would quit. See, I came back a little bit off mentally because I wanted to learn why I'm getting demolished. I wanted to learn the secret. I'm always trying to get that secret move or that secret sauce or that magic. But I learned in the long run, it's not about one move, or it's just training consistently. So I came back and I came back and I came back, and eventually I got better in time, but I just lowered my expectations. I humbled myself, and I just looked at it like, if I can just get submitted a little bit less, I'm improving. So that was my first goal, not to get tapped 6-7 times around to getting tapped 3 times around. That was my first goal, and that took a while, but at least I felt happier that I only got tapped 3 times, and then later with more better defense, I didn't get tapped. Okay, then you have the opportunity to start learning offense. That's progression, right? So you gotta look at it that way. Make these little goals and don't have big expectations, and just work on yourself improving slowly by slowly every week. Just work on improving.
Which brings us to the next one, which we went over a little bit, misaligned expectations.
Yeah, that rolls into the same thing I was saying, is expectations for a lot of people is way too high. You're not gonna start jiu-jitsu and submit people. You're not. And you're not gonna be king of the mat. You're not. You just have to lower your expectations. I mean, even wrestlers. I've had several wrestlers start jiu-jitsu with me. Yeah, they can take me down, but they can't submit me. And after I submit them several times, you know, a lot of wrestlers, they lower their expectations and they want to open their mind and listen, and I'll teach them, right? But anybody coming in thinking that they're super tough, super strong, especially law enforcement or military. I used to be a cop. Their expectation is, I'm going to kick ass because I'm law enforcement or military and I have muscles. That doesn't matter in jiu-jitsu. If you don't have skills, you don't have techniques, you're going to get submitted. Okay? I went through it as a cop. Being a cop and having a badge doesn't mean nothing on the mats. And when I had students that are military or cops, they're strong, but they get submitted anyway. They might throw me around, but they're gonna get submitted anyway. If they stay, they learn, they get good. But unfortunately, when your expectations are too high, they normally quit. So my opinion is lower your expectations. Even if you're a badass or law enforcement, nobody cares. Just lower your expectations, be a good student, listen and learn and practice. You're gonna get tapped. Just accept it. Nobody cares. I don't keep score. I don't care. I get tapped. Why wouldn't a new guy get tapped? Right? I get tapped every time I roll. You think I give a shit? I'm still training. Why? I don't know why people think in their mind they're gonna come in here and teach me something by kicking my ass. It's not gonna happen. If you don't have any training in jiu-jitsu, it's not gonna happen.
Which Which brings us to the last one, which is physical discomfort and injuries as a result of jiu-jitsu.
Okay,